Today, many of us know our speaker for today, Reverend Cindy Farrimond. She is a longtime family member of us here at CLF. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what she's currently doing. I'll delve into her past a little bit, and then we'll bring her up to the stage. I know, we're going to talk about her like she's not here. So believe it or not, she is a graduate from Emerson Theological Institute. She is the leader of our congregant care ministry here at CLF. She's been a religious science practitioner since 2006 and continues to serve as a spiritual life coach here at CLF. Reverend Cindy also serves as a CLU class assistant and teacher and can be found teaching many different classes and serving many different ways in TMAC. She's been with Creative Living Fellowship since 2001, serving in many capacities. She was a co-leader of community outreach for 4 years. She also served as a leader and trainer of one of the CLF's first connection groups, Friends in Spirit. This, if you know Cindy at all, this you know to be true. She believes her most important role to date is that of Grandma Mimi, which has taught her to be fully present, to have fun, and love unconditionally. CLF is Reverend Cindy's spiritual home. Her message and her mission is clear: to make a difference in the world by showing up and being a loving presence, teaching spiritual truths, and helping people discover their own greatness. Please help me in welcoming Reverend Cindy.
Good morning. I am both excited and nervous to speak. So if you guys see me grabbing my bottle of water, you'll know why. So just bear with me today. I am loving being here and being able to give the message. Oh, thank you. So today our message is Let Our Radiant Light Shine. So I want to start out with, you are not just a spark of divine light. You are a globe full of unlimited divine radiant light. And I want to say that again. You are not just a spark of light. You are a globe of unlimited divine radiant light. So today we're going to look at some ways to tap into that light, tap into that divine light. And we're going to look at it individually, and we're going to look at it collectively as a community, how we can shine our light in the world. So when P.O.W.E.R said, "Light to me is perhaps the most profound truth in the universe. My thinking has been deeply affected by the belief everything is some form of radiant energy. And so are you." So how do we start? We start by believing that you are the radiant light of God in expression, and to know your oneness with the divine. Well, how do we do that? We've been talking about it all month, so today is a little bit of review. So we've been taking the word power and going down as an acronym for different things. So that we first looked at the P for purpose and passion. And Reverend Michelle let us take a pledge. First of all, our only purpose is to let God be God in us and to live authentically from that place. And she gave us a pledge, a 29-day pledge. Do you guys remember that pledge? So, oh, you do. Thank you. So, if you have not started your 29 days, it's not too late to start. You can start that 29 days anytime. And the pledge was to live in that place of letting God be God in you and to live in possibility. That was the passion and purpose P. So Cerise gave the next talk, and she's a powerful speaker. And she gave the talk on oneness and knowing your oneness with the divine, and that there is no separation between you and the divine. And she talked about knocking down walls of beliefs that had been there for years. And I hope that everybody had a chance to knock down some of those walls. I know that I did. She also gave a quote by Rumi, which I love. Why do we struggle to open a door when the whole wall is an illusion? So if you have any walls left, knock them down today. Reverend Michelle took her worthiness wand as an ordained worthiness minister and anointed us all with worthiness. I don't know if you still feel worthy. Sometimes you feel worthy when you leave the service and then life happens and then you go back to feeling unworthy. And if you have any unworthiness left, we have spiritual life coaches and experts that you can pray with after the service. And I know that they would be happy to anoint you with a worthiness prayer. R.E. talked about evolving into your future. And I want to add, even when it's scary. And Reverend Michelle bravely talked about the next steps in her evolution. And then she talked about the steps that we're taking as a community in our evolution. So changes are afoot and it's all good. I also know that some of you are bravely taking steps in your own evolution. And just to let you know, we support you in whatever that is. Whatever that is for you, we support you. That brings us today to the last letter in P.O.W.E.R, which is radiate your light. One way that we can do that is by setting an intention to be the light, to call it forth, to see it all around us and through us and as we go about our daily lives. Have you ever felt somebody's energy come in a room before they did? You just felt them come in and you knew that they were there. Well, that is the divine radiant light going ahead of them. And that is how powerful your divine radiant light is. People can feel it and know it and see it. The great news about divine light, as I said in the beginning, it is unlimited. Ernest Holmes said in Science of Mind on page 191, more light will be given to us as we use that which we have. Isn't that great news? More light will be given to us. There's always more light, more and more and more light. It's always available. We just need to call it forth. So, as a congregant care minister, I particularly use this tool of calling forth the light, especially when I go on hospital visits, because I don't know. I don't know if the person is going to be scared or they have a diagnosis that is very fearful. So I always set my intention to be the light, and when I walk in the room, that light goes before me. And you can use it at any time. If you have a job interview, call forth that light. And call it forth if just going about your days. If you have a difficult conversation, call that light forth before you have that conversation. Just know that that light is available and that you can tap into it at any time. I love this quote by Gordon B. Hinckley. Some of you may feel that you're not as attractive and beautiful and glamorous as you would like to be. Rise above such feelings. Cultivate the light you have within you. and it will shine through as a radiant expression that will be seen by others. You need never feel inferior. You need never feel that you were born without talents or opportunities to give them expression. Cultivate the light in whatever talents you have, and they will grow and refine. Become an expression of your true self, appreciated by others. Like I said, that divine light is always available, and it's never tiring. However, that doesn't mean that there'll be days when it's dark. I would be lying if I told you that your lives will be light every day. So recently, I had a few dark moments and hours. My youngest daughter, Ashley, was pregnant with triplets. And we were so excited. We planned for these little 3 lives, and we were like, who's going to help who? And we need to buy diapers every time we go to the store, so we have a room full of diapers to have the children. And we were just so excited, picking out clothes and cribs and all that other stuff. And at 3 months, for no apparent reason, my daughter lost the babies. And I was very sad. I was sad for myself. I was sad for my daughter and her family, that we would never get to know these 3 little lives that came in. And I was in a dark place because I wanted to know why. I'm a need-to-know person. I don't know if you're a need-to-know person, but I am a need-to-know person. And I wanted to know why. Darn it. So why? Why did that happen? And I may never know. And it's okay. I saw a spiritual life coach. Every meeting that I went to, when they asked who needs prayer, I went, I do. So I got plenty of prayer and help and guidance to bring me back to the light. And if you're in a dark place, I just want you to know that our spiritual life coaches and ministers are here for you. That is what we do. We bring people into the light. So use us, please. Ernest Holmes summed it up best on page 411 of the Science of Mind textbook. The light is greater than the darkness, nor has the darkness any power over light. The darkness is the great denial of light, but it is really did not deny the light, for where the light was, darkness was not. By merely bringing in the light, the darkness vanished into its native nothingness. And I love that, for where there was light, darkness was not. I also saw this quote on Facebook, which I really, really like. And I'm going to cuss. Well, we've set a precedent that we've already can cuss from the stage. So I thought I would add a cuss word for today. So this is what I saw on Facebook. And it was a picture of a phoenix rising from the ashes. And this quote was in front of the phoenix. And it said, "It's okay if you fall down and lose your spark. Just make sure when you get back up, you rise up as the whole damn fire." And that phoenix rising was just such a wonderful picture to go with that quote. And I love it. And we can rise from the ashes and be that whole damn fire. So my invitation to you is to bring forth that divine radiant light and let it shine. The world needs you. This community needs you. You need you. So shine that light. So we're going to switch gears and talk about shining the light collectively as a community. And right now in our community, it's more important than ever to shine your light because of all the changes that is going on in our community. And I know I'm not the senior minister, but I am a loving, caring member of this community And I have some ideas about how we can do that, bring our light. Can I share them with you? Thank you, because I was going to do it anyway. And then I want to hear from some of you. So I have 3 P's, and the first P is presence. So your presence shines a big light in this community, whether that is an online presence or in person. That light is very needed on Sundays. And today I look out and see so many brilliant faces, and I am so happy. Although Sunday is just a part of it, you can shine your light with your presence at membership meetings. We're going to have a lot of membership meetings coming up that are very important to our community. So come, if you're a member, come vote. If you just want to know what's going on in our community, come, stay for the meetings. You can shine your light in your CLF circles. That's another place you can shine your light. In our classes, I saw there was a class or a workshop on positive change. I just found that out today. That is a great workshop as we're going through these changes. And bring that light anywhere you may serve at CLF. Just bring it with you. Just pack it with whatever you bring in here. Bring your light. The second P is prosperity. We have a big opportunity to shine our light as prosperity, not only to keep this community thriving, but to attract a new minister. This minister has enormous, enormous shoes to fill. So we want to attract the best of the best ministers, and we need prosperity to do that.
You're doing a really good job.
Thank you. Thank you. The third P is prayer. And you can shine your light and pray every day for our community. You know, during these changes, pray for our highest and best. And if you don't know how to do that, we have spiritual life coaches, again, after this service, and they will pray for our community with you. So take advantage of that and use your light to pray. So right now I want to hear from some of you. And how will you commit to shining your divine radiant light during these changes in our community? I will start, because I don't believe in asking people to do something I wouldn't do myself. So I am going to shine my radiant light just as somebody who will listen. So if something is on your heart, if something is troubling you, I will listen with an open mind and an open heart. So come find me. I'm around. Trust me, I'm around everywhere. So if you need a heart that will listen, I'm your gal. So do we have a mic runner? Oh, Rick. Yay. So now I want to hear from some of you. How will you commit to shining your light during these changes?
So I served on the board twice previously, and what I am committing to is supporting the board that we have, and as it transitions on the 28th, putting everything I can behind them to support us through this transition, because they are going to have a huge job and will need a lot of support and help. So that's where I am committing to putting my energy.
Thank you.
I can commit to continuing to help host those fabulous luncheons after service.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary Beth.
So my name is Lola Wright. I'm the spiritual director of P.O.W.E.R Spiritual Center in Chicago, and on the Leadership Council for the Association for Global New Thought. And I can commit to holding your community high throughout this time of transition. P.O.W.E.R Spiritual Center went through a very significant transition, not dissimilar from yours, 5 years ago. And it really does demand of the community to rise up into a higher state of consciousness. There's lots of minutia that can occur as distractions during these kinds of changes. So I will hold you high from the city of Chicago and know and trust that you listen to your higher self and lay down your small self in service for who this community is here to be. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So as someone who is on the board and a member of this community, I'm committing to live in a place of passion and hope for our future instead of a place of fear. Because I can tell you truthfully, that place of fear has come to me several times in the last few weeks, and I've had to consciously choose to leave it alone, and I'm hoping we all do the same thing.
Thank you, Roger.
Good morning, and Reverend Cindy, I loved your message at 9 a.m., and I'm loving it even more now.
Thank
And
you.
Please, Reverend Lola, please give Damana our very, very best. We miss her in
Yeah.
our community.
Yeah.
And I commit to serving this community and helping us find the best and greatest leader for this community, and also to try and be as a light, let my radiance shine in this community, because I'm expecting everybody else's light to be in with mine, because this is a wonderful place to be, and I want to be here.
I'm already on the Board of Trustees, and I had made a decision, I thought, to step away from the board. But during this transition, I have put that aside. I am staying with the board, and I will see this through to the end.
Thank you.
I am committed to CLF, to volunteer, to greet, to sing, and to help my husband and do PowerPoint, and to bring the light into this room and to hold it high on that higher plane where our higher selves are. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you, Cindy. I would love to commit my presence, just showing up, just sheerly showing up no matter what. Showing up at the services, showing up at the meetings that you have for this process that we're going through, showing up, just my presence every Sunday. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to share? Oh,
I
yay.
am the hugger of the bunch, and I'm here every Sunday. I love my family. I love everybody here and what they do and what they bring. And I just want to let you know that this is my spiritual home. And if you need a hug, come and see me, because I will help you out in that way no matter what it comes to. So.
Oh. Best hugger, yes. Would anybody else like to share? Well, even if you didn't share, I know that you committed in your heart to serve this community with your divine radiant light. And I love, Maggie, I love what you said about just showing up with your presence. That is so important. That's why it was one of my P's. Your presence is so important. And it could be as simple as that. So thank you for shining your divine radiant light in our community. I would like to end this talk with a poem by one of our resident poets, Amy Love. I had asked Amy when Reverend Michelle asked me to do this talk, I had asked her to write a poem because I know she's an amazing poet. So she was inspired by several of Reverend Michelle's talks. And she channeled her inner Dr. Seuss when she wrote this poem. It's also going to serve as our closing prayer. I'm going to do my best to read it and channel my inner Dr. Seuss from my Dr. Seuss experience with my kids and my grandkids. So, it's a long poem, So just bear with me. It's very good. The first service loved it, and I know that you will love it too. They're all waiting for you. There's no time to delay. Are you ready to go? Urged a voice far away. Go where? Who am I? Came my puzzled reply. The voice spoke again, but this time from inside. You are destined for earth. It comes from the stuff I used to make you. So when things get rough, remember you are already divine. To find who you are, just let your light shine. For you always existed and always will be. I know, well, because I am you and you are me. But what kind of light am I supposed to be? I begged the voice, who giggled with glee. You could be a matchstick that brightens a cake, all covered in sprinkles that memories make. Or maybe a flood lamp in rafters above, guiding fly balls to some lucky kid's glove. They always need fireflies to flicker real bright, to help them find love in the darkness of night. But the world needs your spark, or else it will stay dark. Now, don't get me wrong, the dark isn't always bad. There'll be times it's welcomed, like times when you're sad. The dark ain't all bad. You need it to get rest, but some days it'll stay, and it'll be hard to get dressed. When it stays dark, you might find you can't see the entire forest, let alone just a tree. But I promise you this, those trees naked and bare, outside in the winter, inside are still there. You got the power to choose your display of light in this world. How will you show up today? Create shadow puppets, make shade under trees, or perhaps be a laser that does surgery. I made you for myself, since that's all I can do, and I can't wait to see how you will be you. What if I forget or fall flat in the dirt? I whispered my fears. Is it going to hurt? I could hear the voice smile as I started to move towards the light, worried how I would prove. You are about to be born. You've never not been. If you get to the end, we'll begin once again. For after the dark, a light always must shine. Doubt if you must, but it's all my design. So when the day comes, when you have no more energy, I'll call you back home and you will return to me. Amy's not in service today, but that poem inspired her to write a children's book. So I want all of us in the community, when you see Amy, support her in shining her light as writing her children's book, because she's good. She's really good. So that is my message today, to let your divine light shine individually in your life and in this wonderful community. Let your divine radiant light shine. Namaste.